watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thank you for joining us here on Ace Country Radio, and we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're now on your Roku devices. It is Thursday, May 16th. In our top story, as News 25 continues to expand its Southern Nevada coverage, Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers now joins us with a look at price hikes that began back in 2021.
The American dream is defined as the ideal that every U.S. citizen should have an equal opportunity to achieve success and prosperity through hard work, determination, and initiative. Now let's hear from U.S. President Donald Trump as he examines fresh inflation information across our nation.
It was just announced last month, inflation surged once again and surged very badly. Joe Biden's inflation tax continues to take away 30 to 50% of every dollar you have. It's a 50% tax.
Numbers don't lie. The 45th presidential administration established nearly 9,000 opportunity zones to revitalize overlooked communities.
Perhaps most tragically of all, the 50% Biden inflation tax hits working Americans and young Americans the hardest. It also hits African Americans and Hispanic Americans like as hard as they've ever been hit. It's a massive wealth confiscation from the people who need it most and from people also that produce our jobs. Crooked Joe and his cronies are getting rich while you're struggling to get by. If you're a young person, Joe Biden has completely pulled the rug out from under you. There is no longer an American dream. He's made it impossible for you to save to buy a house or to have a wedding, while simultaneously driving up the price of everything for which you want to save.
U.S. President Donald Trump passed record-setting tax relief for the American middle class.
The Biden inflation tax is also crushing corner stores, restaurants, and small businesses of all kinds, including those owned by millions and millions of African Americans and Hispanic Americans. They're the ones that are taking this the hardest. I will end this nightmare, and we will once again have the greatest economy in history.
Reporting from Las Vegas, I'm Maria Centers with News 25 Las Vegas.
And News 25 will continue to offer the latest opinions about the upcoming election out of Las Vegas and throughout the U.S. And turning to local news, a 6-vehicle crash occurs Wednesday night and sends 5 people to the hospital. Samantha Roberts reports.
Jason Ernest of Mount West Lawyers. Don't be bullied by insurance companies. Call me, 775-727-9500.
A 6-vehicle crash occurred Wednesday at the intersection of Charleston Boulevard and Durango Drive around 7 p.m. According to police, 5 people were transported to a local hospital with complaints of minor injuries. One person on scene was suspected of being intoxicated and was taken into custody. The identity of the suspect has not been released at this time. Alcohol appears to be a contributing factor in the crash, according to the police.
And in other area news, the person responsible for damaging the historic Salt Tram Tower in Death Valley surrenders to authorities.
The visitor responsible for pulling down a 113-year-old historic salt tram tower on April 19th has come forward and is taking full responsibility for their actions. According to the press release, the responsible person called the tip line that was provided in an earlier press release, stating that this was done during a time of desperation as they were deeply stuck in mud. They added as well that it wasn't their intention to cause harm to the structure. Death Valley National Park's resource management team is currently working on a full assessment of the damage, as well as making plans for what restoration of the salt tram may look like. While working on said plans, the park's cultural resources team has urged people to be patient due to the fact that the repairs are being done by well-intentioned people who don't have the proper tools and training. The park will not be disclosing any additional information regarding the individual who turned themselves in.
And a Las Vegas man is currently facing charges of drugging 2 sex workers who went to his home after he spoke with them on a dating app.
On May 12th, around 7:30 a.m., Metro received a call from a person stating someone had a knife and their friend would not wake up. The caller said a woman and that woman's cousin were drugged. Around the same time, another person who was later identified as Travis Boland called police saying he met 2 women the night before and they were not waking up. According to documents, officers responded to the home in Summerlin, discovering 2 women unresponsive in a living room. The officers believed they were given controlled substances that severely intoxicated them. Officers gave Narcan to the 2 women and paramedics brought them to a nearby hospital. According to officers, they discovered a suspected grow lab as well as marijuana and methamphetamine in the home. Police said they also found a dropper with an unidentified liquid in the kitchen. The original 911 caller told police that the trio was, quote, on social media attempting to set up prostitution dates when they met Boland, who agreed to pay for them to come to his home. After calling the women and not hearing from them, the 911 caller became concerned and went to the home, finding Boland at the door. After the women would not wake up, they called police. Boland told police he met the women on Tinder and after providing them with a canned alcoholic drink, they fell asleep and would not wake up. He also denied giving the women any narcotics. Travis Boland now faces charges of poisoning or adulterating food, water, or medicine, as well as a drug-related charge.
And in more political coverage, Jackie Rosen helps pass a bipartisan legislation bill that will help better equip the Department of Homeland Security officers with better safety tools.
On May 16th, Senator Jackie Rosen aided in passing a bipartisan legislation that would provide federal law enforcement with improved ballistic body armor. According to the FBI, the body armor usually employed by the Department of Homeland Security officers is designed in a way that allows bullets to deflect off of the chest of the armor and hit the throat area. However, this leaves many female and some male officers vulnerable. The bipartisan legislation, which is known as the Better Ballistic Body Armor Act, would better protect law enforcement by requiring all agencies under DHS to provide them with next-generation body armor. Senator Rosen spoke on the matter, stating that federal law enforcement officers in Nevada and across our nation put their lives on the line to protect our communities, and we owe it to them to keep them safe.
All right, and we have your local coverage of elections coming up after this break with so much more here on News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Pahrump's United Rentals. From home to job site, they have all your equipment needs. Call 775-990-4260.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, one of the candidates running for Justice of the Peace, Courtroom B here in Pahrump, comes to the KPVM studios to record a rebuttal based on comments made by another candidate. Here is part 1 of that rebuttal.
Hello, my name is Robert E. Thomas III. I am running for Justice of the Peace, Courtroom B, here in Pahrump. I have seen several allegations by the incumbent that I wish to respond to. To start with, though, I think to give you, the listener, a framework that I should start with the judicial canons. The Canons of Judicial Ethics, Rule 4.1 governs political campaign activities of judges and judicial candidates in general. Section A states in part, except as permitted by law or by Rules 4.2, 4.3, or 4.4, a judge or judicial candidate shall not, and there are a number of things listed. Number 11 is knowingly or with reckless disregard for the truth, make any false or misleading statement. The comment on Rule 4.1 at paragraph 7 says, a judicial candidate must be scrupulously fair and accurate in all statements made by them or their campaign committee. Paragraph A11 obligates candidates and their committees to refrain from making statements that are false or misleading, or that omit facts necessary to make the communication considered as a whole not materially misleading. Paragraph 8 says, judicial candidates are sometimes the subject of false, misleading, or unfair allegations made by opposing candidates. For example, false or misleading statements might be made regarding the identity, present position, experience, qualifications, or judicial rulings of the candidate. As long as the candidate does not violate paragraphs A11, A12, or A13, the candidate may make factually accurate public response. I would like to respond to two matters that have come to my attention. First is a recent interview by Ms. Fiore. She said of me that I want to remove Nye County from the state of Nevada and make Nye County its own state. While I am no longer involved in the new Nevada state movement, I can reply to this false allegation. The new Nevada state movement is a movement sanctioned and permitted by the United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 3, Paragraph 1, that provides for the admission of new states. In addition, we had intended, when I founded it, to follow the West Virginia model, which sets forth the process. The purpose of the New Nevada State movement was to educate the public on the benefits of a new Nevada state without Clark County, because the voters of Clark County do not have the same values as the rural values that we have, and they impose their non-rural values on us. As a result, I invite your attention to a number of documents that you can find online at newnevadastate.com.
And a new study reveals that Nevada is the worst state when it comes to red traffic accidents at red lights. RJ Camacho gives us these details.
A study was conducted by injury lawyers Bader Scott that shows that Nevada is the worst state for red light running car accidents in the U.S. This study was done using data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration between 2018 and 2022. It found that Nevada is the most dangerous state in regards to drivers running a red light. Between the years of 2018 and 2022, 2,530 drivers in Nevada were reported to be involved in fatal crashes. 561 of those crashes were caused by a driver running a red light. This equates to 22.17%, which is the highest of any of the others on the list. Second was Colorado with a percentage of 20.49%, and New York was third with a percentage of 18.83%. Multiple agencies are currently working towards decreasing the number of fatalities a year in Nevada, such as the Joining Forces program and Zero fatalities, Nevada. But in order to ensure safety for not just you, but everyone on the road, you must follow the rules of the road. Remember, you are responsible for not only ensuring the safety of those in your vehicle, but those in other vehicles as well when driving.
All right, they're hitting the court and the fields, and so Mikey Ruhan is now up at bat with your first look at sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Las Vegas Aviators did it again. They beat the El Paso Chihuahuas 9-7 last night.
That's a 3-game winning streak.
Rematch today at 7:05. The Las Vegas Raiders 2024 schedule has been released. They open their preseason in Minnesota against the Vikings on August 10th. Regular season kicks off September 8th in LA against the Chargers. Cornhole Mania. This is coming to the Expo at World Market Center in Vegas, May 16th through the 19th. And Pahrump Valley Trojans softball will play a neutral playoff game versus the Churchill County Green Wave from Fallon. That game is in progress. It's part of the 2024 NIAA softball playoffs 3A state softball tournament. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thanks so much, Mikey. Well, is there anything bugging you about your electricity? Some curious critters and a shocking jolt for you after this break.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, curious critters and electricity can be a shocking combination. And in honor of Electrical Safety Month, Valley Electric Association is sharing ways to keep your furry friends safe from hidden dangers in your home.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
We love our pets. They're part of the family. But our pets are unaware of the dangers posed by plugs, wires, and other electrical devices in our homes. There are 3 ways to keep pets safe from electrical hazards. Keep power cords and wires out of pets' reach. Turn off electrical items like lamps, fans, irons, or heaters when not in use. Never place electrical items near bathtubs or sinks. Curious cats may be tempted to knock items off the counter. When in doubt, look at the electrical setup through the eyes of your furry friends to keep them safe. Thanks for keeping them safe at home.
Well, do you have any travel plans for your pre-Memorial Day weekend coming up? Well, here's Mikey Ruhan with another helpful weekend road trip tip for you.
Looking to get away this weekend? Just about an hour and a half away in Death Valley, Golden Canyon Trailhead. There's gold in these hills. Of course, the gold isn't in the form of precious metal, but instead refers to the incredible yellow color of the canyon walls, while a peek into the canyon mouth from the parking area will give visitors a glimpse of the canyon's secrets. Hiking into the canyon offers so much more. Towering walls, colorful side canyons beckoning for exploration, ripples formed by ancient water, now preserved in stone, the history of the road reclaimed in a flash flood event, and the skittering of wildlife. This place is so amazing. CP3O hikes there.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look outside through our Lerner and Rowe WeatherCam at this beautiful May day. A few scattered clouds, but those temperatures are not too high, not too low. A closer look at the specifics in weather after the break.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Pahrump's Bill Hochstedler, Republican candidate for State Senate District 19, endorsed by the Nye County GOP.
Good evening, Nevada. I am Rory Rosell here from the Channel 25 Weather Studios and streaming everywhere at KPVM.TV and now Roku. Taking a look at Nevada right now. Up in northern Nevada, Fernley is at 89 degrees. Fallon is at 88. Carson City at 84. Tonopah at 80 degrees. Goldfield at 82. Beatty at 93. Amargosa at 98. Las Vegas at 94. And Death Valley at 108 degrees. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, it is currently 93 degrees. The high today just a little while ago was 94 degrees. It was sunny, humidity 6%, and the sun rose this morning at 5:36 and is going to set at 7:44 tonight. The humidity does raise up to 17%. The low tonight's going to be 64 degrees with clear skies. I took a look at the rest of the week. It looks like we're going to have mostly sunny skies, but a few clouds on Saturday, and next Thursday we're going to be staying in the mid-90s and low to mid-80s throughout next week with small chances of wind. Back to the desk, here's Unette.
Thanks so much, Rory. Always great seeing you there doing our weathercast. And speaking of wonderful students and workers, I would like to say a happy 16th birthday to my wonderful and super smart niece, Chelsea. Happy birthday. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and 8th Country Radio, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.